Hello and welcome to Holt, Michigan for Gatekeeper and Heiser Media's combined coverage of Discraft's CCR Open fueled by Great Lakes Discs. This is a Q Series event when we're very excited to bring you this coverage. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by Nick Hanson. How's it going, Nick?
It's going great, man. I'm excited to be here for this weekend. As you see here on the screen, the weather's not looking great today or Sunday, but these two properties really offer a great, kind of 1-2 punch where you're in the woods and you're going to be out in the open here today. So excited to see what our card has in store for us.
Yeah, it should be a very exciting coverage. We have a stacked field, a lot of players on their way to the Discraft Great Lakes Open, making a stop here in Holt for this big Q Series event.
All right, here we are, hole 1, 354 feet par 3. You really have two options. You have this low line that the drone's flying, or you have a high spike. For the right-hand backhand, it is kind of hard to get back left to the pin, so being out on the right side for a birdie putt is ideal.
Got Tim Barham leading the way. Closest thing we've got to a local on this card out of West Bloomfield, Michigan. Looks like he's lining up just a nice little pump fake for us there. Lining up nice smooth backhand here on hole 1.
Yeah, as you see Tim's disc pushing that far side, he's going to be deep circle too.
Luke Taylor coming off a nice strong finish at the World Championships just last weekend. Finished in 4th place. The young kid, I'm sure, would love to. I guess he's already has a tour card secured now after that finish from last year. But going with the very high spike Heiser. Needs to get left on this hole early, and that one is going to dry up right around circle's edge.
Teeing third, we have Silver, Lätt.
Silver Lot making a stop in Michigan as well. The Estonian, very forehand dominant player, as I'm sure we'll see here, already lining up a big Heiser forehand on hole 1.
Oh, wow. That's going to be right outside the circle, giving him a birdie look.
Yeah, great result for Lot and Andrew Marwede rounding out our card. Last year's CCR Open champion, looking to defend that title here this weekend. Another Michigan local. Going with the low inside route, does not like it out of his hand. Comes up a bit short in circle 2 as well.
Yeah, it's really a tough line. There's, the low ceiling, and then it's going uphill a little bit. So to get it to hit perfectly, to skip directly towards the basket is a very technical shot. We got Tim here from somewhere in circle 2.
Gives it a bit of a safe bid, bit of a slight roll away, given that null the grass or the basket is on.
As always, we'd love to give a shout out to our sponsors. Steve Way Builders is the course sponsor here today at Renegade Trail.
Marwede from circle 2 comes up just a bit short. Don't see him miss too many putts at all, so I'm sure we'll get some highlights from him as the round goes on. We got Silver Lot now from just outside the circle, a bit off.
As I was saying earlier, it's really hard to get inside the circle here. With Luke being this close, he's really going to want to capitalize on this birdie.
Yeah, he's got right about 28-footer here for his birdie. Nice and calm, drops that one in. Great way to get his round started. This hole did average over par, like you said, Nick. Just tough one to get inside circle 1.
Yeah, I feel like there's just not a ton of score separation on this hole. A lot of these top, players are having a bid from outside the circle at birdie and either taking the 3 or connecting for that birdie. Small OB on this hole, but doesn't really come into play as we saw from our card.
And as Marwede taps out there, we are going to hop over to an FPO highlight. We have these for you throughout the round, courtesy of Crew 42. So thank you to them for supplying us with that coverage. They'll have full FPO coverage of this event coming very soon. Owen Scoggins with a great tee shot on hole 1 to set up this short birdie putt.
FPO does play a shorter tee, but nonetheless, great way to start your round. As we move into hole 2 here, you're going to have OB on this left side here as we come through this tunnel, making it out in the open. If you can land anywhere in here, you're going to have an approach to make it through this gap here. Setting up for a pretty standard 2-shot par 4. You don't need to throw it as far as you can each time. You just need to place 2 good shots on the fairway.
Yeah, 600 feet, very manageable distance for these guys. Just need something nice and controlled. Luke looks like he's gone with some sort of understable fairway driver that's a bit overturned. This cut rolls left, does stay in the fairway though. Just going to leave him with a bit of a longer approach into the green.
Yeah, once you can get past those initial trees on the left, you're pretty good. I mean, there is OB over there, but you really got to be fading out to get to it.
Forehand also a nice option. That's what Barham's gone with. Looks like he did catch one of those trees, but should still be fine from over there. This is more what you're looking for from Lot. Nice height on it, clears the trees with ease and puts himself on that right side of the fairway.
Yeah, if you got it, this is a sidearm hole all day, I feel like, just because you can just dump a hyzer over there to the right if you're a right-hander. Minimal effort and minimal danger.
Attaboy, Andy. Shot, dude.
Yep, Marwede doing the same thing. Puts him in the middle of the fairway. So Barham does have a bit of a awkward lie here. He's got the tree directly to his left. But still plenty of room to make that swing. This doesn't look like it has enough width.
Yeah, he's unfortunately going to come up short and likely taking par at best from there.
See if Taylor can make the correction. Needs to give this a little bit more width. Has some nice height on it too to bring it back at the end. A bit long, but a great shot. He'll have another circle's edge birdie look coming up.
It's hard to tell, but from where he is, there's actually an access point from the left side as well. That if you push another sidearm, you could get into the basket, but this is very much the overall used gap to get to the basket that we're seeing here from our players. Marwede also going to be short like Tim in that grouping of trees, and it's pretty tricky to get out of there. We can see his disc, but he's going to have an obstructed look.
Yeah, I'll probably have to go to a knee or straddle. Potentially both. Lot makes a good correction there, just beats the corner. Finds himself right about 20 feet or so. Yeah, and a very awkward lie again for Tim. Has to kind of go out and around, just pitching up for par, basically, with that tall forehand and hyzer. Well executed.
That was wonderful.
Are we going with the flick putt? Basically his only option. See if he can give us an early highlight here.
Oh.
You got to respect the effort.
Just missed on the height is all. Otherwise, that was good.
Yeah, great line, great commitment. Clean out of the hand. As Luke Taylor with another circle's edge birdie putt to start
This kid's
his
going to be
round
good.
off well.
He's going to be good.
I think he's already good, Nick, and that's the scary
Yeah,
thing.
but he's I don't think he's at the top of his game yet. Like, I think he's got a lot to uncover yet, and I've watched him the last 3 seasons now, with this one being the third, and he does some impressive things out there, I would say, for his age and for his mental capacity. So it's exciting to watch. And I think the other week at Worlds was, not really like a breakout tournament for him, but he showed the world he's got it.
Yeah, it was definitely an impressive performance. And yeah, like you said, I think a lot of people that don't follow the sport too closely were very surprised to see him up there. But
And to stay up there.
Yeah.
All right, moving on to hole 3, though. We have OB right and left side here. The right is going to kind of move over that tree line as that left stays on that grass line the whole way. You're going to want to pump a big shot as far as you can to try and attack for the birdie. This one is a very hard birdie. As you can see, this green is completely surrounded by LB. If your first shot isn't, in the top of your game, you're unlikely to get a birdie. As we go over to another FPO highlight here.
Yeah, we've got Vanessa Van Dyken with her upshot for birdie on the third. Pulls that one a bit right and deep, but comes up inside the circle, and she has this 25-footer for her birdie putt. Nicely done right there. Luke going huge off the tee here.
Yeah, if this can stable up just a little, it's going to be in a great spot. And as you can see all the way to the catch cam, he's going to set himself up for a good forehand there.
Yeah, that was an absolute bomb from Luke. Got the full flight out of the disc. Silver opting for the forehand. That one just comes out low. Not what he was looking for. This one's got some nice turn to it from Tim out of the hand.
I think it's just turned too much. Yep, and it's going to grab those trees on the right side of the fairway. He's going to be quite a bit short, and I would assume Best is going to be getting up and down for par.
And Marwede going with the sidearm as well. I don't think got quite as much turn as he would have liked, and yep, catches those right side trees, same as Barham. Come down quite a bit short. So yeah, 3 of our players basically just scrambling for par at this point. Lott still got quite a bit of distance to bite off on this second shot to put himself in position.
And that's going to be a great spot to get up and down. This hole really is demanding off the tee. You wouldn't think it, but it kind of requires, a straight to flip up shot that if you let it leak, it's going to go left OB. And then as you saw these guys, they just turned it over just a little too much, and it's catching stuff in the fairway. But Tim puts a good move on that, and he's going to put himself in position to get up and down for par.
This has a nice flight to it as well. Gets all the way back to flat for Marwede. And yeah, what a drive from Luke Taylor. Just has this straight shot into the green.
I think it's interesting he's going with the backhand, but he knows his game better than us, so. Oh, and that's going to be a little short, but he is putting into that bowl, so gives you a little bit of a backboard.
Yeah, maybe not the easiest up and down for Lott. Looks like he's going to have to go through this gap on the right side. Does hit it. Doesn't quite get back to the right enough, so he's out in circle 2 as well. A couple more up shots coming up. Barham, just a nice simple backhand for him. Pitches that one up to save his par. Marwede does the same. So Lot out here in circle 2. This is to save his par. Slightly downhill, as you can see from this angle, just a bit high off the band.
And here's Luke to start 3 for 3. This would be an incredible start at this course. Oh, and airballs it right. Uncharacteristic miss from Luke.
Yeah, a bit surprising there. Hole 3 did play as the second hardest on the course, as you would expect from an 810-foot par 4 with out of bounds. And no birdies from our card. As we check in with the leaderboard, a couple of 2 down through 3 starts. Very impressive from those guys, but plenty of golf left in this tournament.
Moving on to hole 3, we have Obi on that left-hand side there, as you can see. You can throw a big spike sidearm, but this tunnel that the drone is flying, I think is the ideal route to kind of do just a slight turnover for the right-hand backhand as we get our first check-in from Kristen Tatar.
Yeah, going with the sidearm on this hole. Draws it up perfectly, and that shot is absolutely parked for her birdie. She would go on to tap that one in for the 2.
And from this angle, you can see the tee pad up and to the right that they are playing for the FPO. Oh, wow.
Going with the very wide Anheuser with a slower disc, looks like a mid-range, and he puts it on a perfect angle, flies just over the basket.
Wow. That is a very impressive shot. Takes a lot of touch and a lot of angle control.
Yeah, a lot of trust to put that disc on the right angle, get it to come back, not overturn it, not fade it out. This is probably the more traditional line you'll see from most folks, that sidearm up the middle. Barham's just comes out a bit low and short.
Yeah, unfortunately, better angle might have got a skip to the basket, but leaving himself a circle 2 look.
Marwede going to try that same line. This looks like it's a little bit higher. This grass is pretty thick, so that one just kind of dries up about 30 short. A lot more than capable with the sidearm himself. Gosh, that just like tiny little reach back, and then the explosion is so fun to watch, but unfortunately does overturn it and catches a tree. Oh, but he knocks down the birdie putt from outside circle 2.
There we go. That's how you get your round going. Back on track with another birdie there after that bogey. Got to be happy about that one.
And let's take another look. Yeah, this had to be outside circle 2. Gives it the little jumper.
That was in the air so long.
Wow, that was a great putt. Let's see if Tim Barham can match now. He is also out in deep circle 2. Call this a 50-footer.
Oh. Tim, known for his putting skills, is just off the front of the rim. Let's see if Andrew can knock one down here.
Just outside the circle himself, just a bit low. Never had the height out of the hand.
Slow start from our feature card here. A little surprised with the guys we have on our cards and how they played this tournament before.
Yeah, very surprising.
As Luke's going to start 3 for 4. Very impressive. Continuing that Worlds run. Excited to see what he does.
Yeah, worth mentioning last year, I don't think I said it yet, he got 3rd place at this event. So I'm sure he would love to improve on that finish as well.
All right, as we move into hole 5 here. Gonna be Just a nice power hyzer from the right-hand, backhand players. These trees do come into play if you don't get it high enough, and then if it's not spiking enough, it could fade out. As you see here with Vanessa, you do have that OB on the left-hand side, but another FPO check-in from Crew 42. Oh, and that's on a rope. Perfect flip up. See if it gets a little skip. Oh, and it does, and she's going to be parked.
Yeah, she would go on to make that birdie putt from inside the bullseye. Nice birdie and nice start for Vanessa Van Dyken here. Luke Taylor showing us that super high spike hyzer line. See if it has the distance. A bit short.
Yeah, I was going to say a little short. We'll see where he is within those trees.
But going with a bit of a lower and more direct line and doesn't quite give it the width that it needed. Need to get a little more lucky if you go down that lower path. A couple more branches and trees to miss late.
And Tim's over in that region where he's going to have, those ceiling with those trees, but hopefully he can knock it down.
Marwede likes that high spiking line as well. His also comes up a bit short, so nobody really throwing this hole exactly how they'd like.
And, that's really where the disc funnel, if you don't put enough on it, as we see three of our players kind of landing in that same two-tree area up by the green. Oh, my goodness. Silver with almost another one from outside circle 2.
Yeah, that was a great effort from deep. Good scramble shot from Tim there. And yeah, these trees that are short left definitely bring in some trouble if you don't get it inside the circle. Marwede has to go to the straddle and just gets caught up in those branches.
Luke, being the only one to get on the front side of them, is able to tap in that short birdie look, taking him to 4 down through 5 holes.
Great start from Taylor. Hole 5 did play as one of the easier holes on the course at a 2.7 average, but still got to earn it. 2 good shots.
All right, hole 6, we have a par 5, just over 1,000 feet. Players need to make it over those 2 trees and out to this opening. If you don't make it past there, you go to a drop zone. We have OB right and left with that sand OB as well. Second shot's landing in about this area, so then you can attack. I've seen eagle come into play, but it's very unlikely, so most players are just going to be, throwing 3 good shots to try and get that birdie.
Luke, once again, going huge off the tee. Big hyzer flip backhand. And just biting off a massive amount of distance.
Yeah, what a smash. Interesting to see this one. Not something you'd see all the time on this hole. But gets out. Nice job.
Yeah, interesting to see Silver as I think definitely has more power in the sidearm. So for these big distance shots, going to be relying on that. Essentially, you see he plays the game more like a lefty than a right-handed player. Marwede going to go with the backhand as well. Likes that high line. And that'll work.
Sometimes it's hard to tell if they miss the shot or it's not that great. And a lot of times it's just fine.
Yeah, I think that was more of a Marwede being frustrated that he's even through 5 holes than actually not liking the result of his shot.
I think I can concur with that. Oh, and that's a great shot. Wow.
Yeah, Lot biting off a ton of distance on the second with that forehand. Marwede looking to take that same line out left.
Looks like he's just past the sand, as Luke has it far enough to go through these trees.
Looking to go out and around, and that is fading out a bit early. We'll see if it hung on. Barham's was a bit overturned as well. Looks like it came up a little bit short. And now Marwede with just a nice flip up sidearm into the green also comes up a bit right, but should have a birdie putt.
Oh, just not enough turn there. Gonna have a putt from under that tree, but man, that was looking good at first. Oh, and Tim getting denied at the green, giving himself a longer putt here. I think this is Luke Taylor in here.
Yeah, that upshot he threw did fade out a bit early, and oh my gosh, doesn't even get out. And now hits the tree. Oh, what a brutal series of events. After all that, after two great first two shots, I should say, now has to hit this to just save a par. He's a bit off. Lot now under the tree, has to go to the knee. That spinner is working for him so far this round. Nice birdie putt to get him to 2 under.
Yeah, slowly chipping away ever since that bogey again. And that's just what you got to do on these courses. Take what you can get. Oh, and an unfortunate splash out there from Marwede, I believe. Wow.
Yeah, a lot of chains on the right side, but these Chain Star pros have a lot of chains, so you definitely have to hit it on the pole.
Let me know when you're good.
If you want him to stick. Barham, he's got a par putt here.
Okay.
Knocks that one down. So our lead card, not the best performance on hole 6. This was the third easiest hole on the course, but only one birdie from the group.
Take another quick look at scores. Yeah. Pretty close up there. I think we're going to see some double digits today with what's coming in already here, don't you?
Yeah, seems like the guys are on pace, at least from these hot starts that we're seeing.
Hole 7 here, 830 feet. One of my favorite holes on the property. A big turning shot out of the gate, and then you have this green to contest with. A very, very hard birdie. But one, if you get it, you're very excited. As you see, almost playing as a par 5 at 4.89.
Yeah, by far the hardest hole on the course. Starts with this very demanding tee shot. Pretty tight window you got to work with here, as you can see. Bit of rain starting to come down for the players, as if this hole wasn't hard enough already. Adding a little bit more of a challenge.
I think Tim here is throwing the shot that I think works best. Yep. If you can get a big turning shot over those right side trees and then have it fade out at the very end, you'll put yourself in a good position.
Yeah, and he did just that. That was a great shot to get him out into the fairway. Marwede going with the flex sidearm through the gap. Another great choice. Oh, but it looks like he might be right behind that one tree at the end of the flight. That shot from Taylor as well, fights through some of those trees to get him a good ways up the fairway.
The rare backhand.
We'll see, does it hang on? Yep, just barely before that, out of bounds. Good shot from Silver just to kind of get back in position.
And with this rain that we're seeing, this might be a hole that you really just kind of pump the brakes and play for par, because it takes such an aggressive tee shot to get you in position to then potentially go for birdie. These guys are putting themselves in good positions to, keep, chipping down the fairway currently.
Yeah, tough lie for Marwede after a pretty solid tee shot just faded out a little too much. So he is going to have to do that and just play for par. Well executed second shot, though. Bit overturned from Taylor, does catch a late tree, as it looked like he was going for the green. Interesting decision to go to the sidearm there. Through the gap into the green. Catches something late for Lätt. He's going to have a long look, if not an upshot from there. This is more what you're looking for. Marwede running the basket. Does skip into the rough long. Barham, the last to throw an upshot here. Slides one up into the green. Goes a bit deep as well.
Yeah, just a really tough green overall to access. So if you do get in there, you're going to be happy and kind of take what you can get.
Yeah, we're seeing just why this hole did play as the hardest on the course. As Lätt, another mistake. Gonna have a long putt for bogey now. This is a par save attempt for Taylor from about 40 feet or so. Just a bit high.
Yeah, unfortunate. Would have been a good knockdown, but it's kind of how this hole plays.
Yeah, demanding two-shot hole, sometimes even three shots. Silver Lätt, this is a bogey putt. Got to work it around this tree. Oh, great effort. But the basket didn't like low left. There is the Andrew Marwede we know and love, knocking down a tough circle 2 putt to save his par. Keeps him at even. All gray on the scorecard so far.
Yeah, you love to see that. Hopefully this kind of putt gets him going. Sure, it doesn't get him under par, but might get his confidence rolling.
Barham looking to keep the same scorecard as well. This is a par putt as well from about 28 feet. Knocks it down. Unsurprisingly, hole 7 did have no birdies on the day. And like we mentioned before, played basically as a par 5.
Extremely tough hole. Moving into hole 8, 230 feet, par 3. We have OB on this left-hand side. It's a very short hole, but it is very tricky to get up to the basket. You can go right at it on the left side. You can take a right side gap that allows you to skip towards the basket. But a lot of these players are throwing shots hard enough that might skip out of the back, as we have Own here teeing off. And she laces a sidearm through there. I like this sidearm just because at the end it turns and fades back out away from the OB. See if she can make this putt.
She does. Nice birdie for Owen Scoggins here on the 8th. I think we're probably going to see at least a couple of sidearms from this card, taking that same line. That's what Tim was going for, but does get caught up and kicks out to the right-hand side.
Marwede slicing it up and parks one. Gonna grab his first birdie of the round here, it looks like, on hole 8.
Yeah, this is a good one to get it on for sure. Luke looks like he is going to opt for the wide backhand line. We need to get a little sneaky through those late trees. And
wow, I was thinking that's a little high, but he's gonna find his way into the circle.
yeah, unsurprisingly, one more sidearm coming from Lätt, going for that direct line. It's on a great angle. And
Oh, it needs to slow down. And that's exactly what I was saying there. It comes close to that OB if you try to just really pierce that gap and don't have the speed control you need. So we see Tim kind of giving it a little half bit there from what looked like about 100.
Yeah, Lätt's knocked down some long putts already today. Let's see if he can get one more from out in circle 2, and why not?
Oh my goodness, and he can. What a great putt there. Gonna see him track that one down.
He's had a bit of a roller coaster front 9 as far as his throws off the tee, but the putting has been rock solid, really keeping him in this thing.
See if Luke can stop the slide here and get back on track. And he connects, getting him a birdie and getting him back to 3 under par after back-to-back bogeys.
Yep, and a nice tap-in birdie coming up here for Marwede, gets him on the board on hole 8. Barham still looking to join him. It's going to be 8 pars in a row for Tim to start his round. Always a weird feeling when you just can't quite give yourself that look to get off the schneid, but maybe Tim can do it here on the 9th.
Yeah, it's like he's not making big enough mistakes to take big strokes, but he's also not like helping himself enough to put himself into get an easy birdie. But over to hole 9, par 4, 492 feet. Players are just going to be throwing a controlled shot to line themselves up for the gap and hopefully throw one in as we have another FPO check-in with Owen Scoggins. She is able to slice it into that green.
And an upshot from Vanessa Van Dyken as well. Nicely thrown turnover backhand, slides it up there right past the basket.
And this is coverage y'all are going to want to watch. These two went back and forth all day. And it's nothing like a good battle out on the disc golf course.
Yeah, so hopping back to MPO. Some big placement hyzers off the tee to start things off. Good shot from Marwede right there.
And that's exactly what you want to do. I'd rather be a little short and have the look at the gap than be long and in, right side or left side rough.
Similar looking shot from Taylor. Checks up in the fairway nicely.
Oh, this looks pumped. Dang, no skip though for Lätt. Unfortunate, that was going to be right into the gap, I feel like.
Barham looking like a very similar line for him as well. All 4 players So it gets a little more ground play, but yeah, all 4 players in position here. The challenge of this hole definitely more on this tight upshot into the green. This is looking well thrown from Taylor if it gets a little bit of ground play, and yes, it does.
Absolutely money.
Marwede now going with the flip up sidearm.
Oh,
Too much flip up for him. Catches that late tree. Good upshot for Barham as well. And a park job for Silver on what seems to be a short pin.
yeah, but like I said here, so he had the distance, but now he's just so pinched off trying to get into the green. He is able to get a skip all the way up there, though. That's a pretty impressive upshot.
Yeah, I think he down-tempoed on a driver there to play for that big skip, even though it was probably only like a 200-foot flick. I like the play. Marwede liked that out of his hand, but just a bit left. Doesn't catch, unfortunately. Locked for birdie from about 22 feet.
Oh, and our putting problems continue for this card. These are not the scores I would have predicted after 9 holes for these guys.
Yeah, especially on a hole like this, 4th easiest on the course. About half the field is getting birdie. Definitely one you want to pick up. Barham does just that. He is on the board now. Gets himself to 1 under through 9. Hopefully he can use that momentum on the back to put a good score in. But yeah, like you said, Nick, a slow start for the card. 4 down is the hot round, and a bunch of 1 unders on this front 9.
Yeah, looking at our cards here, a lot of gray out there. It's better than red, but for these courses, the players need to be shooting under par. Players are going to be in the double digits by the end of the day. We'll see how this rain does the rest of the day, but I would say our players on this card, they need to get to at least 5 to 7 down to be in the hunt going into tomorrow.
Yeah, we'll see if they can do that. We got 9 more holes of round 1 coming up. Make sure to hop over to Heiser Media's YouTube channel to check that out, and we will see you over there.